Hello beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another tour of my Disney Dreamlight Valley, Isle and Vale. I am so excited for the update coming on the 18th, and can't wait to show you what I have thus far. I have really liked the last few updates, to be honest, and that is why I am in front of the Wonderland door right now instead of at the port for my intro, because I really liked that realm and update. Another change to my whole video that I wanted to let you all know, or I guess I should say my decorating, is that I will be only decorating one biome at a time instead of trying to decorate them all at the same time. Unless the Star Path brought up the royal duties task, and one of them was to add decorations to a biome, I didn't change anything else. Anyways, enough of my rambling, here is my tour. Please enjoy. So here is Maui to welcome us to my plaza. I had redecorated it before I decided to do one biome at a time, because I wanted to make it more of my own build than a mix of other people's builds. I still took some of my favorite ideas and blended them together in a new way to get this build. I also wanted to make it as functional as possible. I kept Tiana's palace up here in the and thought I kept the flower shop, my house and the apartment building together. I changed their layout to make a new little market square here. My only issue with this build is with it closed off. I can't get directly from the meadow up to the plateau. But it is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
I can tell we're gonna be very good friends.
I kept my sitting area here behind the library along with the flower we got from Jasmine's quest. Then I still have my little flower garden here next to the apartment. The middle of the plaza has pretty much stayed the same.
That sunshine feels so good.
As much as I like decorating in the game, there are a few things I wish we could do, so I'm about to go on a tangent here, and using Genshin Impact as my example. So, I am still learning how to build in Genshin, but I really wish we could terraform in Dreamlight Valley like we can here and blend items together like this. I think it would make things far more interesting, and for people who can decorate far better than I can, they would be able to make such amazing builds. I mean, it is such an interesting concept, and I would love to see what we could do if we had those options. The only thing I don't like in Genshin is that any character that we place in the teapot that isn't another player just stays still. Like they don't move at all, and it annoys me to no end. I guess I'm just so used to games like The Sims and Dreamlight Valley where the villagers move around. Anyways, back to Dreamlight Valley. As you can see, I have turned this side into a more open shopping district. With the boutique and movie theater right next to each other, it is a bit tight, but I still have access to the mining rock. I have also kept the tables around the fountain to make my sitting area for the restaurant, though I have changed the candles on the table with the new Wonderland ones. I placed more of the park entries ways to close in this square, and to keep my little path around here. Because of the fencing, I have a little invisible wall here that makes it more difficult to move. And then I have this area up to the forest. I also like having the rabbit hole here, and I hope it remains for the rest of the game, and doesn't get removed in a later update. Here we have my peaceful meadow, which is the biome I have been working the most on. As said at the beginning of this video, unless it is one of my daily duties, I am focusing on one biome at a time rather than trying to do many at the same time, because that was just too overwhelming. Thus, this is the biome I have started with after my plaza. The original idea was inspired by one of Opal's builds, but I have done my own thing with it. I really like the autumn feel the biome has, and I was trying to go with a Central Park neighborhood kind of feel, an extension of the plaza for lack of a better word. I finally have the fencing around the apartment buildings, which makes the build look more complete, and I am using these flower boxes until I am able to make more of the orange flower ones I have on the center path. I don't know yet what I'm going to do with the end space here, or if I'll leave it blank. I'll figure it out. I've laid down a few of the Alice in Wonderland flowers here to add a bit more color to this open area here.
I just know we're going to be good friends.
I have the greenhouse here at the top where I come to get my flowers from Beast, and I like how open and welcoming this space feels. Around the grand staircase, I still have my stations here, so they are in one place and very easy for me to access when needed. And I just think this area looks nice and brings focus to the stairs without them sticking out like they do when you first start the game.
I'm so grateful that Belle sees me.
I guess everything the light touches is part of this new place.
In this open space, I placed the deconstructing machine, so it was near the other stations, without tearing down the previous stations, also because I don't really like the look of the machine. I wanted to hide it a bit. Anyways, I have finally finished fencing in this space, which I think I'll turn into a picnic area, but haven't decided yet. On this side, I still have Goofy and Daisy with the well at the end of the path and acting as a focal point into the next biome. Like before, I still have Mickey and Minnie as neighbors here at this side of the biome, but as you can see I have added more pathing and fencing, though it does make it really tight here in front of Mickey's house. Lastly, I have the park area behind Goofy and Daisy's houses that is finally starting to take shape. I can't wait to have everything finished here, so I can move on to the next biome. Before I made my decision to decorate one biome at a time, I had started making changes to Dazzle Beach, and when the duty appears I add a few more decorations, but I have mostly left it alone. I obviously have made some changes, clearly having moved Donald, Maui, and Moana to the island. I had to figure out the new layout. As you can see, I have started a ruins-like build to fill the beach, and make it look like things fell apart after the forgetting came. I thought it would look cool, as like these ruins of the old valley are still littered around the beach, and when the villagers started to come back they decided to build a new homes in the ruins. It makes things more interesting, and I think it makes for a unique build. If you have any ideas on what else I can do, please let me know.
just love all the pretty flowers.
As you can see, I have done more work on this side of the beach, and I have added more of the stones and tablets to make it look like more was left behind than we can currently remember, and that the villagers and I are still trying to figure it all out.
This valley is so friendly, like a warm hug.
I still have Stitch on this side of the beach, with the new wall starting to surround his home, and of course the flowers behind it like before. As seen in my previous tour, I have started changing my forest of Vale into a park-like area based off my brother's valley. He has been giving my tips and pointers to make my build work since I am not doing the exact same thing as him. He has this as a Toontown build while mine is, as I said, a park-like build. I like the way this build is coming together, and since it has the same path as the meadow, I have been placing a lot of it down, but that is the only thing I have really done in this biome to make sure I focus on one instead of all. As I've said before, I really like the purple lights in this biome, but when they turn on it adds a lot of light pollution and hurts my eyes. But I am not going to change them. I now have the clock and benches here at the end of the path, but that is the last thing I have done. I still have Rapunzel in this biome, and am slowly working on reworking her space to fit the new build.
Okay, people look alive, rise and shine. Did you know books are the windows to the world? I wonder what the doors are. Probably doors.
Across the bridge, I still have my little forest town, based off one of Nora's videos, though I have started making minor changes. And I might swap Gaston for Aurora, when she joins the game, though that is still in the future, and I obviously can't make a choice yet. I will also be doing a lot of work to the area in front of Elsa's cave. When I get to this biome, I just still have no idea what I'm going to do.
Everyone around here is so nice.
Lastly, on the last side of the forest, I have started making a market area. But I don't know how I want to lay everything out yet, nor what I will do with the excess space once the market is done. We'll just have to wait and see. This is still one of my favorite biomes though, and if the new river kit really lets us change things, it will add so much more ideas to my builds, as I am sure it will for everyone. I have obviously made some changes to the frosted heights, most clearly being this front space here by the frozen staircase. I am basing it off a certain movie, and trying my best to make it look as much as the movie scene, with my abilities, before I reveal which movie it is. Though, maybe some of you can guess which movie it is even with the bare bones decorating I've done. Anyways, I placed the new spring stall here, because I think it makes a nice contradiction with the winter biome and adds some nice pop of color here. As you can see, I still have the build here based off Nora's winter market build, but I will eventually tearing it down for a new build. Until then though, it will stay here to add more to this biome. Lastly, on the other side of the bridge, I have the frozen castle with the stones, which is an idea inspired by New Names Build With Me series. But I only took the castle placement, and the stones along with the autumn trees. Everything else will hopefully be more my idea than an exact copy of her build, because I want to try to make my own builds. Since I haven't gotten any duties to add decorations to this biome, my Glade of Trust hasn't changed much since the last video. This first part of the biome hasn't changed at all since the castle walls have been added, other than more pathing being put down in small intervals. Of course, the well and the biome flowers are hidden in the corner here with the walls surrounding them to make a very small garden. On the other side of the wall, I have what will eventually become Ursula's area, but right now it's still a blank slate with nothing else but her house, just as it's been for nearly a year. On the other side of the bridge, I have the little city street, based off Elserane's build with the park entrances her to make a station-like area, which also hides the edge of the biome nicely though. Just like in the plaza, there is an invisible wall here that I can't get past. I like how well these houses look together, and if Charlotte and Lady eventually join the game, I wonder if they will actually get these houses as their homes, or if Game Loft will do something else for them. We'll just have to wait and see. The space down here is still empty, because I still don't have any idea what to do. I have been thinking I might turn this into my orchard since my new build in the plateau kind of makes it difficult now to have the orchard there. But we'll see that after we finish this biome. In this spot is where I will be building a little fairycore village. Just haven't gotten to it yet since once again, I am doing one biome at a time. In this courtyard I am thinking that I might turn into an outdoor concert, music area, but I haven't made up my mind. Then near Mother Gothel's house, I have an open path here, so I can fish and get resources when they spawn in. Now we have my sunlit plateau, the biome that I have done a lot of work and the reason I decided to do one biome at a time. It is inspired by Squish's tour video from a few weeks ago. I loved how beautiful it is, so decided to do my own version of it. But it is such a big undertaking, so I had to put a limit on myself. Since I also have the item limit of 3,000 on the PS4, I have to make a lot of critical decisions on where and what decorations I use so I don't end up having to sacrifice an entire build for another. I love how the mullein walls look here in contrast to the plateau's palette. It balances so well and makes this biome look so much bigger than it already is. I have used different trees to add a lot of greenery to the build, and I love how it looks like there is some kind of plant grown directly on the wall because of the clipping, but it looks so realistic and lived in. I just love it. As you can see, I moved Aladdin and Jasmine out here instead of in the elephant graveyard spot, so I had more room to give them a proper build. Like I said in the glade, because of this new build I have to move my orchard, but I haven't decided whether I'll move it to the other side of the plateau, the glade like I mentioned, or to a new spot altogether. If you have any ideas, I would love to hear them, because this is really going to be bugging me until I get it. On the other side of the glade I still have what is supposed to be my pride lands. But now I don't know if I'm going to be doing that at all here or not. With the new build on the opposing side, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this side of the biome. Thankfully, I still have a lot of time to think about it, and things are bound to change as more characters and items are added to the game. So for now this is how my plateau is going to look. I haven't done anything to the Forgotten Lands other than maybe rearrange a few small details to try to make things a little more striking and draw attention to the decorations than just having everything be so linear. As I've said in previous videos, I like the contrast to the warmer colors of the decorations against the cooler, darker colors of the biome. In the middle of the biome, I still have this haunted town build that I am slowly working on while trying to figure out how to lay my walls. I think the bridge lights we got from the Vale also work really well with this build and make it look more together than it actually is at the moment. I still have Hades here in the back and then nothing else here since I moved the Dreamlight fruit tree. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this open space yet, if I will do anything for that matter. Now we come to my Ancients Landing build. Though calling it a build is a bit generous. I have only really added the Naboo house here. Maybe it's just me, but I think it looks really good alongside the seaside manor, and here in the landing I think the house looks great, and I don't know, makes the house look all the more elegant. I still don't have anything here on this island, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this space. I have seen so many ideas I like, but either I don't want to do the build myself, or I have used the pieces in another of my builds already, so I am leaving it blank for the time being. I used the Mulan walls because I think they go well with the Naboo manor, which I have seen in other players' builds as well, and I left the back open so I can get to the hidden cove behind the waterfall here, which looks like an extension to the manor.
Elsa's here, then I'm here. What kind of a package deal?
Anyways, up the stairs I have this garden area with the hedges and the builds I don't know what to do with, but I think it makes for a fun little way to fill this space.
You should be proud. You're a very good leader.
Wally!
I haven't decided what to do with the overlook yet, and I don't even know if I'm going to keep what I've been working on already, but for now this is what I've got.
This whole place is like an oasis.
Finally, in the ruins, I have the Corona Castle, which I think works really well in this spot. The courtyard is another one of my ruins builds for Eve and Wally to live in. I think it works well for them and makes this area look good.
Everything's Jake.
I am trying to make different sized areas in the ruins to look like maybe there was a castle or fort or something of the like here before the rifts and for getting started to tear the isle apart. I like how the past and future blend together as well and think that Eve and Wally would like to live here and study everything that is around them. I can't wait to get more of it done. The Plains is still the market build, which was inspired by Blossom Joy Gaming's video. But I have started to use the Agrabah walls to make it different and more into my own build. So, the layout may change dramatically at one point, but for now this is as far as I have gotten. I still like how the Wall-E lampposts look here in the sand, because in a funny way it makes sense in my brain that the sand would cause the lampposts to lean. I think the market is really going to look great once I get back around to it. It's just going to take me a really long time, since I only do a little bit of building at a time, and as I said, only one biome at a time. Here in the Oasis, I still have a lot of work to do on my vineyard inspired by the Decoristas build. I have planted more grapes, but I still don't know exactly how I want to do my layout since I don't want it to be an exact copy of the Decoristas vineyard. Also, I have to finish all the other biomes on my list before this one, so again, it's going to take a while to get here.
Boy, howdy! This place is nifty!
At the bottom, I have placed some of the Agrabah walls to make it blend in with the rest of the dunes, and to make a fenced-in garden area here. I still don't know what I want it to look like exactly, but I do know I want to make a garden of some kind. The Wastes is going to be a small desert resort, or town if you want to look at it that way. I haven't done much work other than putting up a few walls and put the two buildings here that will be part of the build for now. I like how the Cave of Wonders is still here, and can be a point of interest for the other villagers. I will also have to keep cleaning this biome out since a lot of resources keep spawning here. But once it's filled it shouldn't be this bad. I hope. Here is the wild tangle. I still have this wooded area in the first spot where I have Goofy's stall. I think it is a cute filler build that makes use of the space without overwhelming the rest of the builds. I guess you can say that this is the only biome I have finished since I count each place in the wild tangle as a biome instead of one single one. It is the only way my brain can make sense of it. Across the bridge, I have the casita that overlooks the orchard that I am working on. I think I will add more trees and foliage when I get to this biome. On the second level of the biome, I have the triangle cabin build that I based off I'm Not Dead Jet's video. It is such a cute little build and fills this space nicely, while also using the cabin I honestly didn't know what to do with when I got it. Lastly, on the third part of the biome, I have moved Buzz's RV, because I am going to turn this into his new campground since I have overhauled the forest of Vale. I think everything is coming together nicely so far. Though there isn't much here, I have been working on turning the lagoon into my plaza for the Isle since I believe all three maps should have the main hub area. So, right now I only have the buildings laid out. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. For the bind I have started making my plaza area up here right before the Library of Law. I like the way the Little Mermaid fountain looks here, and can't wait to get more of the sitting area laid out. Down the stairs I started building a small neighborhood in what I am making a castle area. I like the way these walls look here, and am happy with how the build is coming together. All the buildings I have laid here look nice together, though that might just be my opinion. I like to think the villagers would love to have this kind of build in their home, and think it suits the Vale very well.
This salty sea air is great.
On the other side on the bridge, I have what will be my farm build. I haven't gotten very far in it yet. I think it will look great when I get further with the build.
I'm so glad we met.
The Wild Tangle is where I have Merlin and the fairy godmother, since I still believe their houses should be in the same biome. But I never thought Merlin should be in the Forgotten Lands, where I originally had the fairy godmother. The minute I heard about the Vale DLC, I knew I was going to move both of the over to this map. I just had to wait for the perfect spot, which I believe is this biome. I haven't figured out the layout for this biome yet, so this is all I've done, which I know isn't very much, but I think it is a good start. Hopefully, when inspiration strikes me, I'll finally be able to get this biome started and finished. Teapot falls in where I have my Alice in Wonderland build. I know. Choose the obvious Alice in Wonderland biome for my Alice in Wonderland build. How original. But I am really trying to make this build my own. I am going to make the labyrinth maze at some point. But as already said multiple times in this video, I am working on one biome at a time, so it will be a very long time until I get to this biome. Now that both Alice and the Cheshire Cat have joined the Vale, I am happy to have more to this build done, and to have more villagers living in the Vale, since I have come to realize most of my villagers live in the valley or on the islands. I really want to start having more live on the DLC maps. And since there are still more characters to come, this will be possible. I look forward to seeing how this build will come together when I finally get to this one. The Fortress Ruins is where I have started building my 100-acre woods build. I hope that with these items being added to the game, that means Winnie the Pooh and friends will be joining the game at some point too. The Beanstalk Marshes hasn't changed at all since the last video that I posted. I don't know what I want to do here yet, and given the size of this biome, there are so many possibilities I could go with. I've seen so many ideas from other players that might be interesting to try, and I really want to do something here. If Maleficent gets a house and doesn't live in the castle here like with Jaffa in the Isle, I might just put her home here and do a build around it. I will just have to wait and see what comes. Here in the statue's shadow, I am going to make some kind of Greek garden, but I haven't decided how to go about it yet, so I have only placed down the pathing here, and placed the haunted mansion, since it will be the main building here. I really want to make an original idea, since I know a lot of other people have already done something of this sort here, and I want to make my own. For Mount Olympus here, I only have to Disney Castle, because I was inspired by Poppy's elegant castle build. I have only placed the castle and a bit of pathing. More will be done with this build later on. My Plaza Island is where I have started working on my Mulan build. It is the island where I have made the most progress, and have taken some inspiration from other builds like Nora and Oscar, whose videos I have linked below. I like how the build is starting out, and now just have to figure out how I want to finish it off. But it works so much better than trying to build an entire build in the corner of the glade, or at the one side of the meadow. I just have more freedom and space here, which I greatly appreciate, and I know a lot of other players do as well. My Meadow Island is where I am placing the villagers. I have no other place for like Woody and VNLOP. I am using my unused ideas from my plaza and meadow to build this island. I am also trying to use the touch of magic rugs to make roads like so much any other players have done, because I really like that idea and wanted to do it, but because of the item limit in my valley I was too scared to use them before. I really hope they add more paths and maybe something that looks like road. It would be so cool and would just add more variety. Anyways, this is what I have on this island so far. My beach island is where I moved Maui, Moana, and Donald. I plan to make a beach resort, or something of the like, when I finally get to this island. But right now there is literally nothing here. My forest island, I am doing my Beauty and the Beast build, which is heavily inspired by Nora's Castle Town build. I really like how this build is coming together, and am really excited to continue this build when I get here. It's so beautiful, and I think it works well for Belle and Beast. They just feel so at home here. But like many other players have pointed out, I don't like how other villagers can't visit the island unless I have placed their homes on the island first.
I have the most wonderful new book to read.
It does make the builds feel very isolated and cut off from the valley. I mean, I get that the islands are supposed to be separate, but it just feels really strange in that sense. My Glade Island is where I am making my garden. I am slowly gathering all the seeds from all 3 maps and planting them. I just haven't figured out how I want to decorate this island, so that it isn't just a place for my vegetables. I like what I have right now, but I think I'm going to change it, because I really want something else, but I haven't figured out what that something is just yet. My sunlit island is where I am going to do my build for Scar. But since I have so much on my plate build-wise, I haven't done anything yet. It also doesn't help that I still have to harvest all the vegetables here before I can actually do the build. My Frosted Island is where I am building my amusement park, because I thought it was an interesting idea to have a park in winter, since I don't think I have seen anyone else do a build like this. Maybe I'm wrong, but as said, I like this idea, so I'm going to go for it. I haven't done very much yet, and things are probably going to change down the road, but I like what I have right now. My Forgotten Island is where I'm building a witchy core village, since it is the perfect place for the build and the coloring adds a mysterious aura to the whole thing. I also like the contradiction between my gold brick road and the dark colors of the landscape and buildings. Anyways, thank you for joining me on my tour. As said in the intro, I'm really excited about the next update. I can't wait for the Forgotten to become a villager, and to finally see inside Skull Rock. Which means bringing Peter Pan to the valley, which is exciting. I've been saying that a lot, haven't I? Anyways, please let me know what you think of my builds so far, and if you have any suggestion, I would love your feedback. Until next time, byes.